As P&G says, it works to make every day more than ordinary. But is that the story stakeholders truly believe? Greetings, and thank you for being here. As the corporate communication intern team for Procter Gamble, our role is to understand not only what the company says about itself, but also how the story is perceived by its stakeholders. Today, we'll walk you through P&G's narratives, the challenges it faces, the communication disconnects that emerge, and how those gaps impact stakeholders. Finally, we'll propose a communication objective to help close that gap and strengthen trust. Now, firstly, for the narratives, we have Angie. Take it away, Angie.
Thank you, Shane. So first, let's start with a brief company history. Procter Gamble is one of the world's largest consumer goods companies with more than 180 years of history. What began as a small soap and candle maker in Cincinnati has grown into a multinational corporation operating in 70 countries. With more than 65 brands, from Pampers to Pantene, today its products are found in nearly 5 billion homes worldwide. P&G's growth has been driven by innovation and resilience. It was one of the first companies to pioneer national advertising and consumer research. This helped it connect directly with customers. Over time, it has navigated wars, recessions, and global crises, adapting its strategy to stay relevant and competitive. Currently, P&G's leadership rests on a portfolio of daily use products and a strategy focused on product superiority and what it calls constructive disruption. That is, the ability to adapt to changing consumer and market demands. Building on this long history and global footprint, P&G has developed a narrative about who it is and what it stands for, a story it consistently communicates to stakeholders. Now, what does the company say about itself? P&G frames itself as a company that makes every day more than ordinary. They offer trusted, superior quality products that are part of daily life for billions of people. Its stated purpose is to provide branded products and services of superior quality and value that improve the lives of the world's consumers now and for generations to come. Beyond products, the company also highlights its role as a responsible corporate citizen, claiming its strategy is aimed at delivering balanced growth and value creation while serving not only consumers but also employees, society, and shareholders. Lastly, what does the company want key stakeholders to believe? P&G wants stakeholders to believe that it is more than just a consumer goods manufacturer. To consumers, it presents itself as the provider of high-performing, superior products that improve everyday life. To employees, it positions itself as an inclusive and supportive workplace where loyalty and success stem from the times when people feel inspired to make a difference, have equal opportunity, and multiple ways to continue growing. To investors, it communicates its ability to consistently deliver balanced top and bottom line growth, returning billions in dividends while pursuing long-term sustainability. Lastly, to society, P&G portrays itself as a leader in environmental sustainability, equality, and community impact, with initiatives like the Children's Safe Drinking Water Program and its Ambition 2030 goals. So, overall, P&G tells a strong story of innovation, responsibility, and sustainability. But the question does remain, do stakeholders believe it? Next, we'll look at the challenges that put this narrative to the test. Take it away, Shane.
Thank you, Angie. So, what are the challenges to the story? P&G states that it is a good corporate citizen, highlighting its sustainable practices. However, there is numerous evidence indicating that sustainability is actually a challenge for the company. First of all, numerous greenwashing allegations have led to lawsuits concerning the company's misleading environmental claims. One case centers on the company's Charmin toilet paper and how the company claims it is sustainably sourced, but a later discovery found that one of its core materials is uncertified pulp, which means that the pulp it's being used did not originate from a sustainable source. Another false claim regarding sustainability comes from the company's efforts in plastic and packaging waste, with reports stating that the company produces 712,000 tons of plastic packaging annually, and 22% of which are non-recyclable. Moreover, the firm also had a palm oil scandal where it sourced palm oil from an illegally cleared wildlife reserve in Indonesia. despite having pledged to only use deforestation-free palm oil. The company's annual carbon footprint also exceeds 174 million tons of carbon dioxide. Overall, these examples suggest that P&G has trouble in being sustainable. Besides issues regarding sustainability, P&G also has committed large-scale layoffs where a total of 7,000 jobs were lost. This was done in order to protect company profits as well as shareholder value. This act by the company disregards the well-being of the firm's employees and their families. Moreover, it directly challenges the company's narrative of being an inclusive and supportive workplace where, and I quote, loyalty and success stem from the times when people feel inspired to make a difference, have equal opportunity, and multiple ways to continue growing. However, this claim seems to be contradicting of their current actions, as committing large-scale layoffs does not really inspire employees to make a difference. These are just some of the challenges being highlighted in this research, and now for further analysis of these problems, I will hand it over to Stephen.
Thank you, Shane, for the opportunity. So, P&G loves to call itself a sustainability leader, but when watchdogs expose deforestation links, massive plastic waste, and broken promises on palm oil, that green image starts to look more like greenwashing. P&G tells a powerful story through their Ambition 2330 goals that promise lower carbon emissions and better packaging. They run programs like the Children's Safe Drinking Water, which help many communities worldwide. The message: when you buy P&G products, you are making a responsible, planet-friendly choice. But here's where things don't add up. Watchdog groups have linked their toilet paper brands to deforestation. While they promote packaging innovation, P&G still produce over 700,000 tons of plastic every year, and more than 20% can't be recycled. They pledge to source only deforestation-free palm oil, yet we found that they buy from suppliers tied to illegal land clearing in Indonesia. So while the company talks about sustainability, its action tells a very different story. And that's why critics call it greenwashing. P&G oversells its eco-friendly image to look better than it actually is. At the heart of the problem is trust. P&G has built its reputation on being ethical and sustainable. But the bigger the promises, the more damaging it is when they fall short. Customers felt misled. Investors worry about losses and boycotts. Employees are asked to represent a purpose-driven culture, but face skepticism when profit seems to come first. In the end, what should be P&G's greatest strength, sustainability, has become its biggest vulnerability. Further story about the company's trust in stakeholders will be explained by Mr. Chen. And place and time, please.
Right, so thank you, Stephen. So I will be talking about the impacts on stakeholders. So the key communication issue we identified is the gap between PNGs and their strong sustainability narrative and consumer skepticism about whether these commitments are fully delivered. To explore this, I will use the Secret Handshake's four-step model with three critical stakeholders, which are the consumers, investors, and the employees. First are the consumers. They want affordable, high-quality product that also lives up to P&G sustainability promises. P&G wants their loyalty and willingness to pay a premium. Consumers hold strong power through purchasing decisions and social media influence. If they see P&G's efforts as greenwashing, trust erodes and brand equity suffers. Secondly are the investors. They want financial returns and reassurance that ESG efforts create value. P&G seeks ongoing investments, confidence in leadership, and patience with long-term initiatives. Investors hold power through capital, stock prices, and board influence. If they view sustainability as risk or costly, they may push back and restrict their resources. Lastly is the employees. They want alignment between company values and their own, plus assurance that their work creates positive impact. P&G needs them for innovation, strategy execution, and advocacy. Employee holds structural and productivity power, and if they feel promises don't match reality, morale and retention declines, weakening P&G's credibility. These three groups are prioritized because they have the highest influence. As I mentioned before, consumers drive the revenue, investors control capital, and employees sustain execution and culture. Focusing on them is essential to ensure P&G sustainability narrative and is trusted rather than dismissed as greenwashing. Next will be presented by Daryl.
Okay, thank you, Jet. So it became clear that P&G's communication objective is to restore credibility in the sustainability commitments by demonstrating measurable progress in responsible sourcing, recyclable packaging, and environmental transparency, assuring consumers and stakeholders that its brand deliver both superior performance and lasting accountability, directly addressing greenwashing concerns. The core communication objective for P&G should also be to rebuild trust by specifically demonstrating transparency on providing data progress towards its Ambition 2030 goals and report setbacks as openly a success. Furthermore, P&G should also engage stakeholders directly through communication channels to clearly present evidence of action and to ensure that the sustainability story told in advertising, investor relations, and community outreach is consistent and evidence-based, avoiding overstatements that risk being perceived as greenwashing. In short, P&G's communication objective is to restore credibility in a sustainability narrative by consistently delivering transparent, verifiable updates on progress, openly addressing challenges, and aligning all stakeholder messaging to demonstrate that its environmental commitments are real and measurable. So in conclusion, while P&G promotes a strong story of sustainability and responsibility, external narrative reveal gaps, especially the risk of greenwashing. We've highlighted the disconnect, the stakeholder it impacts, and communication objective to help rebuild trust. Thank you for your time. We're happy to take questions.